Good afternoon and good morning. Welcome to the Shift Your Back Office Direct and Indirect Auto Lending Processing into a Higher Gear webinar from MeridianLink. My name is Kevin Fleetwood, Marketing Manager, and I will be moderating this session. Brandon Sisola, Group Product Manager, and Paul Forrest, Vice President of Sales Engineering, will be your presenters today. Feel free to ask questions in the question box on the control panel, and Q&A will be available toward the end of the presentation. We have one question and a survey, so we will appreciate everyone's participation on the poll. One lucky attendee will win a $100 Amazon e-gift card, so we will announce that winner at the end as well. Also, after the close of the webinar, please take the survey, as one participant who answers that survey will win a $50 Amazon gift card. And with that housekeeping taken care of, I'm turning it over to Brandon.
Thanks, Kevin. Welcome, everyone. We're excited to be talking about how you can boost your auto lending processing today. The agenda for today is that, first off, we're going to be talking about the modern experience and how it's available in LoansPQ today. We'll talk about what's available now, as well as what's into the future for the roadmap, and then also how you can go about getting the modern experience enabled for your institution. Of course, we will always have a demo, so Paul Forrest will be helping us out with that, and we'll be going over the indirect and direct auto lending modern experience. So when we talk about the modern experience, it is both a technology upgrade as well as a system workflow upgrade for LoansPQ. So first off, we did invest in new technology pretty much from the ground up for LoansPQ. LoansPQ has been around for a while. It's tried and true, it's tested. We wanted to ensure that we were keeping functionality that is enjoyed by many lenders today, while also improving the back end so we can ensure that LoansPQ is successful both now and into the future. So we've upgraded technology from the front end to the back end to everything in between in order to speed up the system and overall make it a smoother experience. So for example, just from the new technology stack, we have 98% faster page switches. So in the classic experience today, if you move from the Easy app to the underwriting info page, it's usually going to take somewhere between 1.5 seconds to 2 seconds to do that page load. Once you're in an application with a modern experience, it's immediate when you switch from application to underwriting, for example. We also, just based on the technology improvements, have a faster underwriting engine. So when you go to qualifying products today, it's going to take some time to think through all of the product qualifications before it shows you the qualified and referred products. That is now 30% faster. That was just by optimizing the underlying technology and improving the system. And this new technology stack really does allow us to also develop things more quickly. So that's something that you can see as our clients with more frequent releases and with more frequent upgrades to system functionality and new enhancements. One major proponent of the modern experience is in the improvement in the simplified workflow. So today, within the classic application, you have your left-hand navigation tree. It has somewhere between 30 to 40 different pages, depending on what you have configured for your institution. We've simplified that down for all of the application types. And so while the actual pages that you can see are going to be different for an indirect auto versus a direct auto versus a credit card, they all are following the same general format. You're going to have your application page where you're collecting that key application information as well as applicant information. You're going to have underwriting, funding, and documents. And then for other app types, for example, vehicle, we're going to have a vehicle page to enter in that vehicle information. And you'll be able to see this as Paul goes over the demo later. And finally, it's not only a technology upgrade, but it's also a UI UX upgrade. So we really focused on trying to streamline the workflow within LoansPQ to make it more top to bottom and start to finish. Today in the classic experience, you're probably used to jumping from page to page. We really tried to make it so you don't have to do that within the modern experience. You collect all your information from top to down, so you're scrolling down rather than having to go back and forth, and then working left to right within the application workflow. You start an application, you go to vehicle, underwriting, processing, funding, documents. And you'll be able to see in the demo later the refreshed modern UI that is a lot more responsive, it's a lot easier on the eyes, and it's definitely something that we can continue to build upon and make sure that we have a modern UI now and into the future. So going into what's available now. So we have a number of different modules. With the modern experience, we have taken an application type specific focus. So rather than waiting for another year or 2 years and releasing everything all at once, we wanted to make it possible to have both your classic applications and your modern experience applications in the same system. So what we have done so far is we've released the credit card module, direct auto, indirect auto, personal loan module, as well as recently we have released the dashboard or the homepage where your custom app queues are shown. And so all of these are available to be used in production now. If you haven't already got your hands on it to test it in beta or demo, you can do so, and I'll also be talking more about how you can do that and what the process is to enable modern experience a little bit later in this webinar after Paul's demo. So you will notice that home equity business loans are not mentioned on this page. I will be talking about that later as well during the roadmap portion to update everyone on the dates of when they can expect those modules to roll out. And then we've been very excited about the adoption of the modern experience modules. We did expect that a number of our clients were going to want to wait until all of their modules were available. For example, if you're using home equity or express accounts, you want to wait until those app types are available so you can go fully to the modern experience rather than having some of the application types be in classic and modern. But then we've also seen some great adoption by institutions that wanted to get started on the modern experience earlier. And so you can see here we have over 25 live institutions on all of the modules that are available today. And a number of these are clients that are doing a mix of classic and the modern experience. And that's really, it really tells how we made it seamless between the platform, where it's still one system that you log into, it's still one application, and you can cross-sell just like you would today within the classic experience. And that's something that Paul can show a little bit better in the demo and show how it's still one system and you can pick and choose the modules and enable those as you see fit and when you're ready. And so with that overview, I am going to pass it over to Paul to show you the actual modern experience application.
Hey, thank you, Brandon, for that lead in. And I'm going to hop right into the modern experience. So let me just switch my. Now, what I'm going to go over here does include some options that are available today. They just may need to be turned on. You may not be leveraging them, but everything I'm going to go over will be available for you today, and hopefully I can show you how to enable those different options. What we're looking at here is the modern experience with the dashboard turned on. So you can tell we've switched the way the queues work a little bit here. So that is a little bit different. So right here, you can see this is my working queue. So this is everything that as an underwriter or processor, these are in my pipeline. These are what I'm still working on. Right over here is all of my custom queues. So in this thing, here's some dealer track approved applications. There's a new feature that we added in this modern experience where we can claim an application right from outside here without having to go into the queue. So it makes it a lot simpler for your underwriters to come in here, select the next application. Now this also will be available inside of the application, but right here, instead of having to open up the queue and sort through them and select the next one, they can just use this. Now a feature that is planned and upcoming, not available yet, so hopefully I'm going to make a clear distinction, is there will be a security right where we will be able to suppress the ability to actually open up the queue, and your processors or underwriters will just have the claim app functionality. This will address a concern of someone going through and may potentially cherry picking higher credit scores or easier loans to work on. they'll just have to get from whatever they have available that you've enabled claim app, they'll have to select the next one from there. All right. Now, I don't want to spend too much time on DealerTrack, but hopefully everyone has got a precursory knowledge of DealerTrack. So I was going to submit an application, but DealerTrack's app is a little bit cumbersome and it takes me a while. So I'm not going to make us go through there and watch me put in an app. But as an app goes in, as soon as they hit submit and pick lender, they send it to the lender, it's going to show up here with the status. You can see these are all green with the check marks, meaning that they were instant approved by the LoansPQ indirect lending system. If I open one of these up to check the application details, remember this is post submission and after underwrite by the FI, and their site looks like it's slow or my internet connection's slow. Here it is. So it's going to bring up this. A couple things to point out here, which will come out instantly. You're going to see the information about the financing. You're going to see the stipulations. So these are going to be product level stipulations. Right here, I've also set a automated action. Now this is something you could do, could not do, depends on what you're looking for. But right here, this is an automated comment that's going to come over to the dealer. And in this instance, I actually just did a link where I can open this up. And if you do need any documents, if you need the dealer to upload anything into this application, most of the time you're not going to need that, but I do want to make sure we know that this is a feature that is available here to the dealer. We can automatically send a notification, and depending on the terms of the loan, depending on the credit score, the credit tier, the collateral, you could have some additional conditions of this loan right here and have a link so that the dealer can automatically upload this right into the back end. So hopefully that's something that is unique. I'm going to come over here. Now this is an application that I had put through, and I'm trying to recall where the collateral is here. It's here somewhere. But they put through the collateral here and they said what it was worth. They said everything. Another new feature that it's actually been introduced a little while ago. I don't know that we did a great job in getting it out there, is the ability to have an automatic NADA lookup. So right here, you can see this is how the app details look in branch. So I've gone here, removed, and you can see part of this processing. So here's where it came over and, we did the underwrite, it changed to approved, it added to the queue, created the link. This is for that web message that we had. Coming down here, here's our information. But coming right here, this is an automated NADA lookup that we can enable. Now this can be enabled for any loan that has Gateway as a source. So as long as you are on the newer front end application portal, we can automate a vehicle valuation. It's going to look something like this. This will tell you the pull status. If there's multiple vehicles or if there's something that might take some additional details, the status will change. But if this is a direct match, it's going to say pass. Depending on how you set up your value model, it's going to come up here. So hopefully you see what I'm showing is we come through here, we're going to be able to come in. Page one is the application. This is really designed not to be editable easy. Now I did see a couple of questions and we'll hit those a little bit later, but this is really designed to be a review page. That's why none of these are live fields. You can see this is all kind of read only. If for some reason we did need to make an alteration to any of this information, we have to hit edit right here. We can go in and make our change, and then we have to say done editing. The thought here is we wanted to make this really quick. We didn't want someone to change anything by accident. All of this should be entered in with the dealer, and hopefully, and this is the hope, that the dealer entered it correct and there's no change. But again, as we all know, if you get POI, you might have to come in here and modify the income, change anything like this. So this will allow you to come through here, edit that, and change the income, but you do have to done editing. It's designed to be very quick. We know with speed and ease of use is really important on an indirect loan. So we tried to break this down only into 4 pages. On a direct vehicle app, there is a collateral page that's wedged right here between application and underwriting. The idea there is that you're going to be working directly with the consumer, and you might need to go back and change that a little bit more frequently. Okay, so these are your workflow steps. This is your application, and as Brandon mentioned, this is going to have information like the deal structure. So the first thing you're going to see is the deal structure, front end, back end, what the amounts are in front end, what the amounts are in back end, what products consist of back end. Then you have some configuration settings on that, but it's going to be gap, mechanical breakdown, anything like that. Here's the information about the FI, so this is you. Here's the dealership information, and a great feature I do like to show here is the view stats functionality. Slides out real quickly. Going to give you an overview of the last 30 days with the performance from this individual DT test dealer. So you can see here I've got 4 applications in. At this time, 1's been approved. Here's the approved amount. 1 app was funded. Here's the funded amount. It also will give you the last 10 applications, including credit score. So you can see if they're trending to give you A, B paper, or if they're giving you all C, D, and below paper. With any one of these, I can view a summary without actually having to open up that application. It's going to open up a summary format of that other application, and I'm able to jump through here and view any of the comments. I'm able to view the bar information. So it does give you a quick view at exactly what the relationship with this dealer's been, how many deals you've processed from them, and what type of paper you're seeing from this dealer. All right, so I'm going to come down here. Primary applicant, another nice feature that we have at it. This is available in the classic view, but it is much harder to see. Right here, we're going to track the last 15 applications that this individual might have. In this instance, there's only 1 previous, not including this one. I could look here and view applications, and it's going to show you all of the applications. And just like with before, I can hit view summary. Now, this is great if you've got a long-term applicant, member, customer, and maybe they applied a year ago. I can quickly come here, pull it out, and I'm going to be able to come to the bar information. What was their credit score at this time? Okay, how were they employed, and what was their income? So are they trending up? Are they trending down? Is the income out of line for where it was a year ago? But it gives you real good quick access to all of this previous application information, as denoted right here by there's 1 previous app. Now we can also do, depending on which core your FI is on, we can do a lookup right here to see if there's any records in the core. So if there's no previous apps, does this person have any existing loans or deposit products with the FI? So you'd hit here and you'd be able to do a quick core lookup. All right. This would show your MLA status. Now, hopefully everyone has got that hooked up to your credit bureau. This is going to show if it has passed or if it is. Now right here, because this is a test site, it just doesn't have that in my credit report. That's why it's yellow. It would show if they were or were not MLA. Here's all my employment details. So you can see here, now this page is a little bit long, but it's designed to really quickly go through and just view everything. Right here, this does say that there was 1 vehicle that tied directly to this VIN that got put in. So we're able to come through here and get a very accurate NADA valuation. So this shows the type of value. It shows that NADA was pulled. The trade value is right here. As I mentioned, if you go up to the app details, you're going to see all the different values if you need to see that. But the most important things are right here listed out. All right. I like to say this is your workflow right here. So in an indirect, we try to keep the workflow very simple. There's 4 pages that we're going to go across. This is your toolbox. So these are some ancillary tools that is going to make this much quicker for you. So at any point, if I want to view the credit report, I can just come through here and just say view credit. It will pull that credit report up real quickly, and I'll be able to view this individual's credit. So go down here, he's got a 715, here's all the reasons. Very quick, very simple. All right. Another neat feature that we've done here with the modern experience is you can see each one of these different tools are floatable. So if it would help your processors or underwriters, they can float this comment box I happen to have a couple screens, so I can pull it over to another screen. And as I work down through the workflow, if I need to put in any comments or do anything different, I could come through here and just go ahead and mark them. I could add stipulations. So depending on what my role is, I could do approval reasons, stipulations, memo denial reasons. So a bunch of different things I can do very quick and very easy right from this page without having to change. In the old UI, you would have to go to the comment page and it would lose where you are. Now it's just a quick pop-up. This message feature right here, as you saw here, there was a test comment. This is what would be shown right here on the dealer page. And when they come down here, comments from credit analyst. Okay. So this works if they need to send you a message, they can come here and open this up. And they're able to type in some messages. Okay. And we're going to go ahead and submit. So they're able to come through here and send questions directly into the analyst that's working on that application. And in nearly real time, not 100% real time, but you're going to get a notice right up here. And it's going to tell you that there is a new web message. Okay. And then also you'll be able to come in here, and if I just refresh this, I think it will show the new web message. And here's a message. So conversely, if I wanted to reply right back to this dealer, so you're going to get an alert, and the alert will come to only individuals that have been subscribed into this loan. So you're not going to kind of spam out every single user on the platform. It's only going to come to individuals that are either working on this application, working on the group for Indirect, so you can control who's going to see it. So I'm going to come down here and I can quickly send a message. So that's as easy as it is to work within the messaging communications. Now it does take a second longer to get into the dealer track system, but it should come over fairly much real time, and then you're going to be able to see it. You'll see it within 5 days. So this is kind of how the dealer and your analysts are going to work within those applications. So they can use this messaging right here. We do have automated actions, which will show up similar to this, but you can control how it looks, which would automate that process. So if you want to send a message over saying we've got it, or you can send an automated notification when you fund an application, when you approve an application, that can all be customized using the automated actions. Okay. So here's this. Underwriting, again, this is very similar, but I'm going to come through here. Here's all your loan information. Now this was instant approved, so here's my credit scores. As you may have known on the last release, we went up to 5. Seems excessive, but there's been a lot of demand for additional score models and vehicle-specific models, FICO models, and ancillary models, so we can support up to 5 scores currently. All right, so I'm going to come through here. Here's my monthly expense information. Here are my most important underwriting guidelines. So here's my DTI before this loan, front end, back end, PTI, how much available revolving as opposed to their total balance. If we click here on view all, then it's going to let me scroll through all of the different ratios, assets, liabilities. Now, if you do need to run the automated engine, we're just going to come through here and say view all products. And it will push it through the engine. If they are not eligible for instant approval, just like in Classic, it's going to show here as a referred product. And with a referral product, it will show the reasons why this individual isn't eligible for that product. All right. Hopefully you can get a feel for, we've really set this up to be very quick, very easy, very manageable. So once you've gone through your underwriting step, next thing we're going to do is come over here, and we have added some fields here for contract date, contract receive date and time, so we can really get down in the reporting to how long this is taking. A dealer funding date and time, so when did the dealer actually fund this loan. Here's your deal structure. Again, we try to keep as close as we could to the rentals agreement. Contract payment information. You can still view the payment schedule. Truth in lending. Dealer reserve shows right here. We still have multiple dealer reserve options. It will show you which option was selected, so you'll know where this is coming from. We do have the ability, if you are using lender's protection, to automatically send deals that fall below a certain category. Usually it's based on the risk, and you can automatically send that over to LendPro, and they can do a protection on this deal for you, guarantee. Okay, at the time you're ready, you can come through here and just set up your disbursements, set up the ACH directly to the dealer. Then you can fund this loan over to your core. Now, right here on documents, here, if you are working with Route 1 e-contracting, we're working with DealerTrack to get their e-docs up, but we will be able to see those packages right here. And if there's any additional documents that got uploaded, it's going to be right here for you. All right. Uploaded documents. Okay. Couple other features here, as always, we can do a task list that would be dynamic. So if there is a fraud alert, or if there's an alert or something falls below a category, you can highlight that for your processors underwriters. We can do a quick summary version. Now, the only difference between this and the direct loan is, like I said, the insertion right here of the collateral. So on a direct loan, you will see the collateral information. One thing that I do want to see, and I wanted to make sure we got through the demo a little bit quickly, so hopefully everyone's seeing what they need to see here. Another great feature we have with the modern experience is this new advanced search functionality. So I could come through here and click on advanced search. I can say, do I want to look for a vehicle loan? Do I want to look for a direct or an indirect? Let's say I wanted to look for indirect. I could also select the dealer. So let's say I wanted to look for DT test dealer. So I can set all of my different ranges up here, but a great new feature is I could save this search and I could call this whatever I wanted to. I've already got an indirect dealer search. So I'm able to save this, and then I can recall this these search parameters just by clicking here, saying I want to search this, and I'm able to just quickly rerun that search without having to redo that. If that makes sense to everyone. So instead of me having to go through here, if you're looking for this, instead of having to go through and reset those parameters, you can save that, and then you can research for it right here. All right. I think we're pretty close to the time I was hoping to get to. So we're going to hit a Q&A, and if you want me to go back in, and if there's any questions about how we need to do different features or what we need to do, I can go back in and I can show you how to do it. One thing I'll point out real quick in the kind of minute I had left on my schedule is if you are interested in automating the NADA process, it's as simple as coming in here to interface settings, coming here to loans. Right down here under vehicle lookup, you should have a checkbox that says automatically retrieve vehicle value when app comes from external source. There's no additional fee to enable that. It will mean that you're going to pull an NADA on every application that comes in indirect and within application portal, but it does make that process a lot quicker and a lot cleaner for you. And that's really the idea of what we're trying to do, is make this very simple so you can come through here and process them faster, less step, less clicks hopefully, and with a lower training curve for your individuals. All right. Brandon, you there?
I am here. Thank you for that demo, Paul.
Excellent. Passing over.
All right. So now we'll talk about how you can go ahead and get the modern experience enabled and what that looks like from a process standpoint. So first off, contact support. Support is the team that's going to help you get the modern experience enabled. All we need to know is what modules you want to try out in your demo environment. So you can choose any number of them that we have available today. As I mentioned, we have indirect auto, direct auto, credit cards, and personal loans. You can try out one or more of those. The beauty of how we're rolling it out is that you can have both a classic experience for some application types and the modern experience for others. So you can enable indirect auto only, you could enable direct auto, credit card, and personal loans. And if you have express accounts or business loans, home equity, those can stay on the classic experience, and you can test that out as you see fit. So once you reach out to support and ask for the modules to be enabled, they will enable those for you in your demo environment. You can test that out at your own pace, make sure you're comfortable with the UI, with the workflow. As Paul showed, the workflow is very similar to Classic. However, we did change some things. We did move some sections around. So it will take a little bit of getting used to, just with any redesign that's going to happen. After you're comfortable with things working as expected and you understand the workflow, you will likely need to set aside some time to train your staff as well. So really that should just be, again, showing where, hey, this section is on this page now. This field is in this section now. We didn't try to overwhelmingly change things because we didn't want it to be a big training burden on you, but there is going to be some level of training that is going to be needed for your users. So once you are ready to go live with the modern experience, you just reach out to support again. And then about 2 weeks before you tell us that you want to go live, we're going to send you over a sign-off sheet. And basically what that sheet says is that you've gone through and you've tested the various integrations that you have, for example, insurance, your core integration, and those are all working as expected. And you can fill out that sheet, sign it, and send it back to support. Let us know the date and time that you want the specific modules to be enabled, and the support team will take care of that for you, enable that on the date and time as you asked for. So it's pretty easy. Contact support, get it into your demo environment to try it out. When you're ready, let the team know that you want to go live on a specific day. We'll send you that sign-up sheet about 2 weeks before your go live date. We'll get that collected from you, and then you can go live. As far as the roadmap goes, one of the biggest things that people are waiting for is express accounts. And we've been hard at work at that. We finished the main development of it at the end of last year on schedule as we projected out. And right now we are currently in internal QA. So we are going through the application, making sure the integrations work, making sure that there aren't any bugs. And if we do find any, squashing those bugs as quickly as we can. So we do anticipate opening it up to beta testing. So really looking at it on the demo and the beta site in March. So there will be some further information as we get a little bit closer to that date. We'll make a post on the community forum. Make sure to email that out as well. So we'll send an email blast out to everyone that's a member of the community forum. If you are not a member, definitely make sure you sign up at the community forum so you can get this information. We're going to get feedback from our clients as they test it out in March and in April. We'll be making fixes and iterating based on the feedback that we get during that time. And then we anticipate launching it for production availability in May. As far as home equity and business loans go, home equity, we're already in development for that. And we are anticipating that we are going to finish development in Q3 of this year, which means that similar schedule to express accounts where we want about a month to a month and a half of internal QA to really suss out any of the bugs. We anticipate being able to launch people in Q4 of this year on home equity. And then finally, business loan is going to be our last application that we're working on for Modern Experience. And we do anticipate starting that after home equity. So we will be launching sometime in 2022 for that application type. And as we get closer into the year and we get in development for that, we'll also provide some more specific dates for that, as in when you can anticipate which quarter it will be available.
Excellent, thank you, Brandon. All right, jumping over to a quick poll right here. So we do have a pretty large audience. We've got over 500 people in attendance. We really want to thank everyone for being here. What really helps us is just to get an idea on level interest and what your financial institution plans are with the modern experience. So I'm going to go ahead and open up a poll. Everyone hopefully should see it right now. So do you want to be contacted by a MeridianLink sales representative regarding the new modern experience? The answers, in case you need clarification, yeah, we're planning on upgrading this year. We're planning to contract, so you're not yet a customer, but you're planning on contracting this year. You're already using the modern experience and you just wanted to take a look at best practice workflow, or we're still finalizing our plans to upgrade to modern UI. I know everyone, there's a lot of questions and I want to make sure we leave a lot of time for that. So I'm not going to let this go for more than 1 minute here, which we're 45 seconds in. So just give it another couple seconds. It's kind of like doing a plank. We're almost there. Just a couple seconds left. It hurts, but we'll be done soon. Oh, I got closed out. Okay, so excellent. So we've got our poll there. So let's come to the next option here, which is our Q&A. So it looks like we've got a lot of questions here. Kevin, do you want to start going through and let us try to address the concerns or questions or praise, as they hopefully will be.
Sure, Paul. We have been trying to answer some of these as we go along, so we have a whole list of questions, so let's just start. Can we move to the modern experience on LPQ but stay with legacy on XA?
Yes, absolutely. So if you want to enable credit card, personal loan, auto loans in modern experience, but you have Express accounts, we can enable that for you. Those app types will be in the modern experience and your XA will stay within Classic until you are ready to move over and we launch the modern experience for Express accounts.
Yeah, and I think I'd add in there, Brandon, I think it is recommendable because it's usually 2 different teams. So you want to get your lending team as quick as you can on the latest, greatest, and start working through that. I think that'll make the transition to Express accounts much quicker because individuals will have experience with it and it will be a very similar workflow.
What are the supported browsers for the modern experience? Will Microsoft Edge be supported?
So right now, Chrome is the only officially supported one. However, we have been testing internally for Edge for several months now, and it does appear to be fully supported. Edge is working off the same underlying technology that Chrome is built on. So we do anticipate announcing full support for that in the next few months here, probably coinciding with our Express accounts launch.
We don't focus on personal queues, but leverage custom queues only. What does the dashboard look like with 10 plus custom queues?
Good question, and you should see right here, this is designed to be scrolling. Now, I probably should have anticipated that and had many more queues here. And when you have a queue open, it will replace here. So if you do work in a single primary custom queue, you can open it and it's going to show you right here. But like I said, this will scroll. So if you have 10, 20, I mean, I've seen some FIs with like 30 queues, you will be able to scroll down and all of them will be listed right here.
Can we use that indirect dealer link to have dealers submit e-contract document packages?
Brandon, you want to take a stab at that one or you want me to go?
Yeah. So there's really 2 ways that you can go with the e-contracting. There's the full e-contracting solution that right now we only have for Route 1, and we also have it for Smart Fund in Cuddle. We are planning on adding in dealer track e-contracting at the end of this year. Unfortunately, we had a little snafu in integrating to DDS last year, and then dealer track essentially stopped deploying clients on DDS due to the coronavirus right as we were ready to launch. So we needed to pivot over to their e-contracting solution. However, if you're not using e-contracting and you want to send that over the remote doc upload link to your dealerships, you can do so. So within an automated action, we have the ability to send that remote doc upload link with a dynamic key in a WebMS that was actually just released a couple months ago here. and that will automatically send that doc upload link to your dealership. They'll see it in their portal, and they can directly upload documents into that. And Paul's showing it right now.
Right. And a good thing about this is you could trigger that when you change the status to ready for funding. There's a couple different things, and we can work with you to figure out what the best way of doing that. But you could clean this up, not show this. If you just want to show a link like this and say, use this link to send the package, as long as you've got a relationship with the dealer where they're going to understand what they need to do, this will work, and this is available today. Fairly simple to set up, fairly straightforward.
Since the automated NADA originates from gateway source, is this an option in the classic experience or only in the modern experience?
So it is for the modern experience only. It is one of our carrots to hopefully entice you to switch over to the modern experience sooner rather than later.
Is the auto pull of NADA only for indirect? How is that enabled?
Yeah, it would not be only for indirect. It's going to be for any application that's coming in gateway currently. So again, to enable it, simply coming in here saying admin configure site, interface preferences, coming to your loan preferences and just clicking the box. Now this will be anything that's coming from an external source, i.e. gateway, which as of today does include application portal. So it's not unique to indirect. It would be any vehicle loan that's coming in from an external source. It wouldn't work or wouldn't auto pull on a in-branch originated loan.
Can you create a printable paper application on the indirect application?
Absolutely. There's a couple different things you could do. Now we could have this summary format. This is printable. So this is right here. This is also archivable. So if you wanted this to go over to your optical storage solution, absolutely you could print this. You could have this automatically archived and automatically downloaded. Now another option could be is if you have a specific document that you want to conform to, or rentals, or just something internal to your FI, it could be created right down here. And when you say generate documents, it's going to map all that information from the indirect loan into whatever you work with the doc team, or if you upload your own PDF and then do your own mapping, it can be here and you could call it an application and it would have whatever content you choose on there.
Is the automated action for the document web link available in Classic? Will this also apply to Route 1 or only to DealerTrack?
It is available for both, and I'm going to leave to Brandon. I believe it's available in Classic, but let me just verify with Brandon.
Yes, it is. It's available in both modern and classic, and it can go out to Route 1, DealerTrack, even Cuddle.
Yep.
Does the core lookup check any closed account files or logs from the core?
That is dependent on which core, but normally it does. Normally when you look up, it's going to look for open closed accounts, and depending on your core, you're able to view the accounts that have been linked to that individual. And again, depending on your core, so we need to know exactly what it is. It normally is going to separate between open loans, closed loans, open deposit accounts, closed deposit accounts. So the normal answer is yes, it should. Again, you'd have to contact your account manager just so we could look up on your specific core to get the items. Brandon, do you have anything different there?
No, I think you covered that. It is going to be core specific.
Yeah.
Can this be accessed via an iPad or mobile device?
It is definitely not optimized for a mobile device. You could access it via a iPad or a tablet. The main limitation there is that you should be using Chrome. It is optimized for desktop usage because the vast majority of our users are going to be on a desktop. However, it can work on a tablet.
Will all current integrations still work when using modern, such as Route 1 and Cuddle?
Yes, unless we have specifically sunset a integration, which you would have received notice on and you would know about. All the integrations that we have today that are available in your classic environment are going to be maintained moving over to the modern experience.
In the classic experience, we use the decision comments for all of our comments now. What is the equivalent option in the new modern experience?
Paul's bringing that up.
Yeah, bringing this up right here. So you still do have decision comments. So there still are comments. I think it is a little bit different on how you're going to do it. Right here from the comment page, you've got your internal comments, your approval reasons, your STIP, unable to fund, memo, denial reasons. If you're going to go in and you're going to manually approve a loan, or if you're just going to come in this way, and let me just see, I think I had one. Whoop. You still have access to that, but like I said, it is a little bit different how it's been set up. So when I do approved, I've got an override code, which I can, and here's my decision comments. Again, so it's still available right here and I can put this in, but I don't know if this is going to work really well for your workflow because it has been built into the approval process. So now instead of this being disconjointed, when you come in to approve, if you're using override codes, I'm going to do that. I'm going to put in my decision reasons, and I'm going to type any freeform approval items. I'm going to add my stipulations in there, and then it just goes that way and updates the approval and updates those comments. So I would think you could use a different option right here. Sorry, I selected message, but comment, you could use a memo. You could use approval reasons. See, approval reasons will show up here, but like I said, there's no freeform adding. Oh, they're there now. If the loan's approved, you can add it in there. Brandon?
Yep, that summarized that well.
Excellent.
Is the e-contracting integration with Route 1 only incorporating the documents submitted by the dealer, or is the contract data interface for validation and discounting?
I believe right now, and I'm going to let Brandon double check because I know you worked on that, Brandon, but it is just bringing the dealer package into the letter and doc section and just attaching it here as an uploaded document for you to review. Brandon, have we done any integration with the funding integration or updating any of the variables in the application, or is that on the roadmap?
We have not. That is definitely something that we can look into. I know there's been some requests around additional automation and functionality for e-contracting, but right now it is limited to, like what Paul said, bringing in the documents into the uploaded document section, as well as doing some surface level validation on some of the fields compared to the fields within LoansPQ, so we can automatically send back the contract, for example, if the approved amount is not equal to what was in the application.
If we're going through a core conversion, is it best to wait until after the conversion, or can we update during the conversion process?
My recommendation would be to wait until you're done with the core conversion, just so you have a stable environment. And core conversions can definitely take a lot of testing as you're integrating to that new core. So I would say probably best to wait for to have one project at a time rather than trying to do multiple.
What does the pin on the Modern Experience home screen do? It looks like it is available per queue.
Paul showing that.
Yeah, I was muted. That pins them up to the top. So it does allow you to take your most important queues, pin those to the top. And then, like I said, all other queues, let's say you have 10 or 12 queues, those would then be scrolling. So as you see here, as I pin or unpin them, it does make that stay on top, as opposed to, like I said, if you scroll down, in the instance we had 20 queues, I might want just my 5 most important ones to show up here. So I would pin those right up here to the top 5 positions.
Okay, here I'm combining 7 different questions. Is there a cost to move to the modern experience?
No, there is not. There's no cost to move over.
Woo! The crowd roars.
Do you offer a testing script, something for institutions to follow when they begin testing?
We do not, because it's been very much per institution, because it is dependent on your workflow, and every institution has their own personalized workflow depending on what types of products they're offering and their different roles. However, what we can do, if you reach out to your account manager, previously known as partner success manager, they can get some references together, and we can see if maybe there's a equivalent client that has already gone live and done the testing that would be willing to share some of their scripts, so you don't have to start from the ground up.
And I'm going to put 4 more questions together. Is there a sunset date determined for the classic version?
There is not, and so there will be one in the future. However, it's not going to be in the near future. We want to get all the application types out in the modern experience before we talk about a sunset. We know that there's going to be a definite, not a long amount of time, but a certain amount of time where we're going to have people switch over to the modern experience. Not everyone's going to jump on it immediately. Some people are going to be waiting for all their app types to be there. So there will be, but it's not going to be in the immediate future here. And we're not going to do it per app type. So we won't even start talking about sunset. You won't hear any news on that until we're done with all the applications. So once we're done with business loans, MeridianLink will talk about that, but it's not going to be too soon after that. We'll make sure to give you ample notice.
Can we get more information on the claim button and how that might prevent users from cherry picking applications?
Brandon,
Sure.
do you want to detail that? Yeah.
Yeah, so the idea behind that is that rather than having someone able to open a queue and be able to look at the applications that have the highest credit score, for example, easy approvals, you would take away the ability for that user to view the queue itself and only see the claim app button. So Paul mentioned that we're still going to be building a user permission that allows them to have that claim app or not. But the idea is that you would see open queue grayed out for Dealertrack approved there, and you would only have the option as a user to click claim app. And so you would be taken directly into that next application rather than being able to choose which of the applications you want to go in. And we also do have a preference that is in there today that informs the logic in the order by which the apps are going to be claimed. So you can say, first in, first out, first in, last out, etc.
How are the fees the financial institution charges the dealer added to the application to be deducted from disbursement? Paul, you're on mute.
Can you read that one more time?
Sure. How are the fees that the financial institution charges the dealer added to the application to be deducted from disbursement?
To be deducted from disbursement. We do have deductions right here from reserve. So if you are going to deduct a certain amount, if you're taking it from the reserve, it could be right here. Now, you can automatically add in different disbursement types. So if I'm getting what you're kind of asking me here, I could come in here and I could say, hey, I'm going to go ahead and fund this account, or I'm going to take out a fee. So that would be right down here in the general ledger. And I could have a wire transfer fee or something like that. And I'm going to go ahead and add that in, and I'd say what amount I'm going to hold back. And then that's automatically going to adjust the amount left to disperse. And then I can do my dealer ACH based on the amount after I do any holdbacks. That would be set right here in general ledger. Or like I said, if you're a credit union, you might want to deposit $5 or $10 into their share account. So those transactions would happen first, and then the remaining balance would just be ACH'd directly to the dealer by coming in here. And if your dealer was set up correctly, the routing number, all this information would be here, and I would just trigger the ACH. Hopefully that's what you're asking me. That's what I heard.
And we've got time for one last question. We've got a whole list of questions that we will attempt to get back out and get answers to each of these to send back out to those in attendance. Thank you for all the questions, but for right now, how long is the usual conversion from classic to modern experience? Testing, IT training, etc.
From what we've seen from the initial reach out of clients to get application types enabled, it's been anywhere from less than a month for some clients that are really, really excited about it and want to get up and running, to potentially 3 months for those that are maybe going live with 3 or 4 modules at a time. So it really just depends on the complexity of your workflow, how many people you need to train, and then how many application types are going live with at once.
And with that, Paul, I'm going to turn it back to you, and we have the prize drawing.
Excellent. I get the exciting part. What looks like a lot of us have been holding on for is the winner of the $100 Amazon gift card. Is congratulations to Shantae, hopefully I said that right, Taylor, with Keesler Federal Credit Union. So you've won a $100 Amazon e-gift card. Our team will reach out to you directly on how to claim the gift card. All right. And with everything that we've gone over today, and I'm sure we've covered a lot, if you need more information, if you are an existing MeridianLink client, partner, you could reach out to your new MeridianLink account manager. That's the new name, used to be formerly known as a PSM, or you can talk with your business development director. If you don't have either one of those, or if you don't know who yours is, you can send an email to salessupport@meridianlink.com. Now, we want to, again, thank everyone for your participation. I'm trying to make sure we cut this right at 1 hour. So there is a survey that you're going to see at the conclusion. Kind of helps us decide how long these should be. Would you like to go longer so we hit all the questions? Do you like that we hit the question later? So hopefully you can spend a minute here, answer the survey. There will be a $50 Amazon gift card selected from one of the persons that complete the survey. And lastly here, like I said, Brandon and I just want to thank everyone for participating. We got lots of questions. We got really a lot of people, some good feedback. We do go over all the questions. We have a talk with our product team. So if we didn't get your questions, we are going to go over and review them. We will try to send out, publish the questions. There will be a link to this. So if you need to re-listen to it, or if anyone from your institution didn't get to see it, there'll be a link so you can view it at a later time. All right, thanks everyone, and everyone have a great week. Thank you.